Welcome, witches, to our, believe it or not, season 3. You believe it's been 3 years? Episode 1 of Witch Whispers. My name is Anya, and I'm with Sarah and Witchery.
And I'm Debbie with If the Broom Fits.
Now, just so you guys know, we are recording this on the 26th of February. Today is the day that Mercury went into retrograde, or as I so lovingly call it, fucktotard. Because it'll wallop you. So if you woke up today feeling like the world is a little bit sideways, this is not something your brain is making up. As of 1:48 a.m. here, Mercury is officially stationed retrograde, and it's in Pisces. The psychic feelings.
By the way, we both just did a little wiggle dance.
Yes, we did. Just a little bit of a wavy looking thing. We're standing in a very intense cosmic crossroads right now. So we just galloped into the new year with the Fire Horse. That happened on the 17th, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
And today we have a thick Piscean fog that has rolled in, and that comes along with the Mercury being in retrograde. So today, Debbie and I are going to talk about how to navigate this eclipse tunnel that we're going through. And along with it, not only is Mercury in retrograde and we have all these planets aligned, but we got eclipses going. Yeah, there's an eclipse going on.
Get your shades.
And we got a planetary parade happening on Saturday. So Mercury goes retrograde, planetary alignment, blood moon, eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be feeling this intensely because holy crap.
If you have an emotional umbrella and slickers, get them out.
Man, I need an emotional raincoat. I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying. Slickers, maybe some galoshes. Yeah. Okay, so before, let's see, she's talking about the planetary parade. So before we get to the moon, let's talk about the planetary parade.
Well, yeah, because the moon doesn't become full until next week.
Right.
We might start feeling it come, let's see, it's on Tuesday, right? When is the full moon?
I just did it, and I can't remember for the e-board. I can't remember what the date was.
March 3rd.
Thank you.
It is Tuesday.
All
okay.
Right.
I had to look it up.
Mm-hmm.
So the planetary parade, Debbie, tell us about that.
Okay, this Saturday, 6 of our celestial neighbors, say that 3 times.
Right.
Mercury, Venus, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, not mine,
Uranus,
and Jupiter are lining up in a rare arc across the evening sky. That'll be great for photo ops. However,
yes.
So we often talk about finding order in chaos, and this alignment is exactly that. While Mercury is backward, this parade is a moment of coherence. If you step outside about 30 minutes after sunset on Saturday, you can actually witness this bridge between the worlds. It's a moment to pause and observe before the blood moon door opens. Now that's if we have a clear sky.
Yeah, well, at least in the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
Now, in other places around America, or the planet actually, where you have clear skies, you might be able. But I was looking last night, and I noticed that they were aligned above the moon, and then I noticed it was like an X because they were also aligned down.
Yeah.
So that means that there's also trions and conjunctions, and a lot of this energy that we're going through is a lot about transformation. It's knocking away the old stuff. Look at what's happening in our political arena right now. It's all about this has got to change.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think a lot of this is going to bring about.
I do too, but I feel like the change needs to be in people.
Oh, absolutely. And that,
putting
yes.
blame, even though we want to.
It's accountability.
Yes.
Accountability. We
Yes.
want to see accountability.
We want to change our way of thinking, our way of doing things, our way of walking and talking and interacting with each other. We're letting, I fully believe that, and I'm a big, I do it too, that I fully believe that we're getting so absorbed with what all the negative crap coming out of our government.
And you can see it when you go into a grocery store.
Yes.
I mean, instead of smiling when people pass their eye,
know.
they got a scowl on their face. I have found now that I will switch, I'll transform the energy, because like the person will be walking along, and of course, you know how you like, I just need to pick up a few things, and then all of a sudden you have 20 things in your hands, you don't have a basket, and something falls out, and the person's getting really frustrated, and you can tell they just want to get done and get the hell out. And I finally, at one point, I looked at the person and they looked like they were going to cry. I felt so bad for the woman. I looked at her and I went, I saw it. It jumped right out of your hands. It committed, I think it was noodles of some kind. And I said, it committed noodle side. And she looked at me and she just busted out laughing.
Yes.
And as of that laughter, all of a sudden, everybody started smiling when you walked by them. Everybody started being polite.
Yeah. I think that, you know, people talk about we as magical practitioners, what we need to do. That's something we need to do. And you know what? We don't have to have a ritual to do it.
No, you just smile, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Everybody's walking around with this guy. And believe me, I get it.
Oh, yeah.
I get it, because I'm thinking scally shit too. But at the same point, I can't allow that to have the effect on me. And so in order to not be at the effect of that, I have to affect it in a different way. And when it comes to energy, I find that, like in Harry Potter, in the Defense Against the Dark Arts class, when they were up against the Bogart, instead of taking that fear and making it like
make
huge,
it fun and something funny,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Make it ridiculous. Make it so funny that fear energy, that vibration of energy of fear, which is very low, or anxiety, another very low vibrating, you bring it up by causing laughter. And it could be something as stupid as saying something. I mean, I've looked at a person going, Jesus, are you kidding me? And they've looked at me and go, these prices. And I'm like, you'd think this shit is made of gold. And they start laughing. They're like, right?
Yeah. You have to put a light spin on it.
But they felt better about it, because it's like, you have to have it in order to have a balanced meal. But when hamburger is $12 a pound or $15 a pound, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah. And just griping about it it's not changing anything. As a matter of fact, it's adding another layer of negativity on an already really sad and unhappy, uncomfortable, everything situation.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I don't think people are going to start feeling better until they make themselves feel better.
Oh, no, absolutely. And we're responsible for our own happiness.
Right.
People
can't blame that on the government.
Well, okay, I can see a little bit of that. I want accountability. I don't blame.
Right. That's different.
I want accountability for their mistakes. I want accountability for their choices.
And here's another thing that most people don't think about. Our mistakes. How many people voted?
Oh, true.
Because if you don't vote, it's the same thing as voting for.
Exactly. But at the same time, we also now have empirical evidence that people did go out and vote, but it was taken. Or it was altered after the fact.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So, okay, we did our accountability by voting, but it was fixed. I mean, I remember the day I woke up and they announced who had the election. And I heard clear as day from my spirit guides, something hinky is happening here. And then 45 minutes later on the TV, on live TV, he admitted that they stole it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, there's where the hinky is. But where's the accountability?
Yeah. What are we going to do about it? Because there's so many people waiting for someone else to do something.
Right. Well, but there are people who are being very active.
Mhm.
We have No Kings protests coming up in March, 3.0, I believe.
Mhm.
But when it comes to accountability, it's not just accountability for the people around us. We have to hold ourselves accountable.
Exactly.
And sometimes when we go through these retrogrades, this is when those things are brought to our attention.
Mhm.
Because we need to be accountable for them. And until we are accountable for them, you can't make any changes.
Nope.
Because you have to take responsibility. So, and that comes into the eclipse tunnel. I almost said that wrong. And it almost came out really bad. We're going into what's called or we're currently in an eclipse tunnel. So there is high voltage space between the solar eclipse that we just had and the lunar eclipse that is coming on March 3rd. So right now, we are being called to transform things. We're being called to let go into the void of those eclipses, what no longer serves us. And that includes big things around us.
Right.
You know, so like, for example, this morning I got in to find out that the torchlight lamp I had been gifted that was 15 years old when it was gifted lasted 5 years and it just died. And I was like, oh, well, I need a new lamp. Well,
Yeah.
I got one with an extending arm. Well, now it lights up my products better.
Mhm.
So was it actually a bad thing that it happened? Well, it was a pain in my ass because
Yeah.
I had to go.
It wasn't anything you had planned.
Right. I had to go to
But
the store, but
Look
it
at your room.
but it
It's
ended up
better
being so
illuminated.
much brighter
Yeah.
so that customers can see the products.
Mhm.
So sometimes we want to go into that negative spiral. We have to see that stop sign in our brain that says, wait, why is this so bad? And how does it get better
Mhm.
than this moment?
Yeah, I've been working with my runes like I do. And in every reading, it's Hoggle and Isa, which is ice and hail. What do you do in hail?
Well, I get underneath something because I don't want to get
Right.
pelted.
Right. And ice is sleep. So the two of them are telling you this is the time to step back
There you go.
and think about what's going on and what is the best way for you to maneuver the course. Not everybody else, just you, because you can only do you.
And that's a great reminder because what works for Debbie doesn't necessarily work for
Right.
Anya. What works for Anya doesn't necessarily work for your sweetie.
Right.
What works for your sweetie isn't going to necessarily work for my sweet giant.
Mhm.
It's just everybody's individualistic.
Right.
And to say that, oh, well, we can do this. Well, that's great. But only half of the population see that from that point of view.
Exactly.
So they don't really see that as a help. We have to transform our perception.
Right. And
in-
so we're given this time. For me,
Exactly.
that's what I feel like Mercury retrograde is all about. I know. It's awful. It's kind of like when I was a kid and I would be punished and sent into the library.
Oh yeah, like that's a punishment.
Yeah.
I know. My
I
mom
would
used to
do
be so
bad
mad.
things so I could go there and read all day and be left alone. This is that time. We have had bad crap happen.
Yep.
So now we need to go within and figure out what's our next move.
Right, exactly.
Individually.
And that next move individually could be being an organizer.
Mm-hmm.
It could be, but what suits you? Don't jump into something because, oh, well, my friends are doing it.
Right.
And I want to be like them, so I'm going to do that. That may not suit you properly.
Yeah, that's not individuality. That is conforming.
Right. It's following the pack.
Right.
Or as some people say,
and
the
everybody
sheeple.
wants to be accepted, but you need to be accepted for who you really are.
True.
Not for who you're willing to follow.
Exactly. So we brought in a little bit about the blood moon and the eclipse tunnel, but let's go into it a little bit more. So we're going to have a blood moon in Virgo on Tuesday of next week because we're recording this on February 26th. So on March 3rd, we're going to have the deep coppery red from the lunar eclipse, but it begins at 3:04 a.m. So if you really want to see it, y'all better take a nap. It's going to last for about an hour. It'll be over at 4:02. But eclipses are the universe's way of doing a deep cleansing. Now, mind you, that deep cleansing is also going to come after a planetary alignment, which is causing us to really see the things that we can't see, which is bringing that stuff to the surface that we miss, which is bringing to our attention what it is we need to pay attention to. At least that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I agree.
So eclipses, if it's in a system or a habit or even a relationship, maybe it feels like it's reaching a final death and rebirth phase. Stop fighting against it.
Yeah, because there, we have a famous actor who always says, "And this too shall pass."
Mm-hmm.
This will happen. We just have to. It's like witchcraft. You have to put your faith in it when you do something.
Well, and your energy too.
Yeah.
And
you have to believe.
We also, as humans, and when I say we, I mean the humanity, the humans overall, don't like change.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't realize that we live in constant change. And so as a result, we have a tendency to dig in our heels or resist that change.
Mm-hmm.
But what this eclipse tunnel and the planetary alignment is doing, it's telling us it's time to just resign yourself to the fact that maybe this is a death. Now, I do not mean death, bang, death, stab, death, whatever. Okay. I'm talking about a death being the end of something.
Yeah.
Thinking of the death, like in, for example, for me, the tarot cards. You pull a death card, it's those huge psychological stressors. You get married, you get divorced, you have a baby, you lose a baby, you lose your job, you get a new job, you move. Those are deaths. Mm-hmm. Because it's a new chapter. Mm-hmm. That it's like,
well, I don't feel like it's a new chapter. I feel like it's an ending to an old chapter so that you can get ready for the new chapter.
See, and
that's what I feel like Mercury retrograde is.
And see,
here's interrupting.
No, but that's a good point. And when I say new chapter, to me, I kind of almost like I'm into series. So
you're into
book series.
Oh yeah.
So like shout out to Sarah J. Maas.
Love
okay.
You.
Love your books, love you. But it's like, okay, let's use ACOTAR as just an example. Mm-hmm. Okay. When book 1 was over, there was a very large change. Book 2 was over, again, very large change. So when we see it as a death, that's the end of that book. Mm-hmm. But we have yet to write the next series, the next book in that series.
And sticking with that simile, if you will, in book 1, how many people were in love with Tamlin at the beginning? And they're like, I freaking hate Rhysand. Then by middle of the book,
things change.
God.
But yes, we don't want to give up too much. We don't want to give too much. But that's the kind of change we're talking about. Right. We're writing a new book in the series, or we're starting a whole new series. I mean, she has the ACOTAR series of A Court of Thorn and Roses, for those of you who aren't familiar. But she also has her Throne of Glass series. Mm-hmm. I just started the Throne of Glass series. Whole new world, whole new characters, which is what a death is. And that rebirth is us writing that new book in that series. We're writing a whole new series.
And we're doing it in our life. I feel like, even though I'm just going to go on the record and say I totally dislike Mercury retrograde.
Oh, I call it fucktotard.
However, it is a gift.
Absolutely.
Sit back, rest, and figure out what our next move is.
Well, and to point out that the rest and reflect, we're still in winter, y'all. I know there are daffodils. I saw daffodils today when I went out to buy my new light. I was like,
I know. I just took Nuka out, and there's blossoms out there. I was like, oh, my
right?
gosh.
Daffodils, daffodils,
Yes,
daffodils.
yes.
I was so excited.
Crocus, all
Right?
of the snow blossoms.
We're starting to see the
Yeah.
color come out and stuff like that. Well, that's part of that change. We're going, and winter, we're still in the retrospective. We're not ready to go out and garden yet because it still might freeze next week. We're not at spring yet. You can plan
your garden,
but you can plan it. You can make a blueprint of what you want it to look like, you know. But with this full moon, with the death and rebirth phase, when you let it happen, this Virgo moon is asking us specifically what is no longer sustainable.
Right.
Well, hell, let's gesture at the whole government. What is no longer sustainable? Let's gesture at the way jobs are being recruited for. Let's gesture at that. That's no longer sustainable. Those are the overall that we were talking about that lend into the ridiculous that we have to constantly cast so that we can laugh and be happy in a place that they're trying to make it so we can't be.
Right.
So we're releasing that. We can't fight that pruning, quote unquote, thinking of, you know, again, gardening.
Right.
If you want to prune, now's the time to do it, but you're not putting anything in the earth yet. You're making room for when you do plant.
Or clean out your garden beds.
Right.
If you didn't do it in the fall, clean them out now. It's the same thing on an emotional level because remember, we're dealing with Pisces.
Yeah.
So start cleaning out the emotional, what no longer sustains you.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, your ex pissed you off. Fabulous.
20 years ago. 20 years ago.
Let it go.
Be Elsa. Let
Yes.
it go.
Let it go.
Let it go. I apologize for my singing voice. I am not a good singer. But when we prune off this stuff, it gives us the room that we need for when Ostara comes in a few weeks. And yes, it's only a few weeks away at this point. When Ostara comes, we have room to plant more. We have room to get ready for those blessings that are coming in. And we're working towards that change.
And you know, people probably don't even think about this, but the Ostara eggs, perfect example. They're just white.
There you go.
And then you transform them, you color them, you put patterns on them, all of this stuff, and it makes you happy and it's a blessing. So if you can look at it that way of you're transforming your life right now, make it as beautiful as you can. Plan, you know, what you're going to do.
Yeah, especially if it's something that, you know, like, for example, we were talking about gardening. Right now, you can't go out and dig yet.
No.
At least in Oregon, we don't recommend it because we could still have frost and it would kill.
Right.
But like back east where they're having all of those snowstorms and those blizzards, like in Maine and all those other places right now, there's no way in hell you can't even get a shovel in the ground. It is solid
You can't
earth.
get out to the tool shed to need it.
or the snowblower that you need in order to clean it,
yes.
right?
So
which by the
plan.
Which, by the way, we are sending you all healing and heating vibes back east from the West Coast here. But now we've talked about the way that we've been being hit by it. We talked about what we're doing and how it's impacting us, those who are sensitive, psychic, witches who are attuned to energies of the earth and what's going on around us. Let's talk about some of the survival tips. So, Debbie, what do you do when there's this much shit rolling around?
After I bitch?
Well, kvetching or bitching, that isn't necessary. You need to get it out and process it, whether you're writing it down or whatever. But
yeah, magically, I usually do like little rituals of things that figuring out what I want.
Okay.
In life, I write them down on little bits of paper, And then, or sometimes I leave them all on one and shred the paper in the spring after Ostara. And then I put it in my soil.
There you go.
When I plant, because to me, that's putting something in the earth for the mother to take care of. And she's gifting me with these beautiful plants, vegetables, whatevers.
Good. You can even do that with your houseplants.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know that paper, I mean, if it's non-acidic, if you were to use non-acid paper, you could put them in your planters when you're replanting your planters.
You can also, for paper like this, put it in the water. The ink goes away.
Yeah.
Which transforms the water.
Yep. Exactly. You
so
could totally
there's
do that.
so many things that you can do. Be creative is what I say, because this is a time to think about how creative you're going to be and what you're going to do with that creativity.
Also, because of the Fire Horse, though, and the New Year of the Fire Horse, I do want to implement that. Be careful how quickly you move. Okay, so one of the things, survival tips, is following a 24-hour rule. Okay, so don't let the Fire Horse make you impulsive. Wait one day before you make any big moves or send that spicy email to that person that you've been looking at. You know, because of my ADD, the Fire Horse, I've noticed since the Fire Horse year started, I've had problems with impulse. I've had to stop myself and say, wait, what about? So like when the light went out, I did, Sweet Giant and I did a bunch of research on what was the best thing to do. And he came up with some really good contemporary ways, but I didn't feel it was right. And so I found one that matched almost perfectly to the one I already had, because I wasn't impulsive and just went, just buy whatever.
Right.
So I had to stop myself from going, well, it could work, but it might work too. That doesn't feel right. Wait, stop. Okay. So check in with yourself and don't rush,
Which is difficult right now because we want it done.
Exactly. Well, and both of us, we're trying to play catch up. You were out last week because of snow. I was out one day last week because, oh my God, the new moon, the eclipse, the Fire Horse New Year. I could barely keep my eyes open on Wednesday. I had a headache from hell. I could not believe what we were like. I felt like I had mono, and I had mono back in high school. And I felt like I had mono again. And I was just like, this is dumb. And I had to sleep all day. So a lot of people are being hit by this, and more people are going to be hit by it the closer the planetary alignment comes, the closer that the new moon full moon comes in, I think. So we want to hurry.
Yeah, and that's why we're doing this, is because people need to pay attention to what they're doing and the energies they're feeling and sending out.
Right? Exactly. So you want to take the second survival tip that we have here?
Oh, the hydrate the tides?
Yeah.
Eclipses pull on our internal waters. Keep your fluids up to keep your energy from getting muddy. I have no idea what you did. Was it a bug? It was a bug. I had a bug in my ear.
Well, I just figured you didn't want it crawling all over you, so I grabbed it while you were reading.
Well, I was just out there in the messing with the.
And here's the thing: when you drink that water, don't forget you can charge that water with intent. Put your hands on it. My intent after I drink this is blah 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 blah. And I'm going to have a good day.
And you have a perfectly good eclipse. And full moon you can charge your water with.
Now, when we say charge your water, we're not talking about putting out a jar, filling it with rainwater. I wouldn't recommend that because we don't know what they spray in the air with those chemtrails. I've seen witches do that, and then they get like this webbing. It's really gross.
Yeah.
But it's like this webbing inside of it. I'd say go buy a gallon of drinking water, or if you have water that you can drink from your tap, put it in a jug that you can put a lid on.
And you can also do things like we were both talking about runes and tarot and stuff like that. Be creative with your, well, that just went out of my hand. Hello.
Well,
I
you
don't know
could
where it went.
you could
but
set
it gone.
you could set the rune or the tarot card near the water.
Well, what I was thinking too is doing the egg reading. Have you ever done that?
No, what's an
Where
egg?
you
Oh,
have
the
water and you just crack an egg and put it in there,
mhm.
and you watch what happens in that water.
Okay.
I always have to look it up whenever I do that because there's so many things, like if you get clouds or
Right.
the clouds can go straight, they can be foggy, whatever.
Yeah, vertical, horizontal,
Right.
right.
Any of that kind of thing. I mean, it's perfect for Ostara. Use an egg with
Right.
your readings and stuff. Perfect time to do something new and
Yeah.
different.
Well, and when you hydrate too, I mean, you could be focusing on, like you said, a tarot card or a rune. You could put that near your cup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In your
write
shop.
it on your cup.
Right. You can write, well, the rune,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Or even the number of like the tower or the death card or whatever that card was, the empress, the goddess,
and then you're
the
looking
star.
at it all day.
Exactly.
Which helps you to focus.
Right. Exactly. And then, of course, something that all of us witches forget to do often, at least me, is to ground yourself. You need to use a deep, bone deep anchor, whether that's hematite from in Debbie's shop, walking in the woods, just staying connected to the earth. Hug a tree. I know that sounds so hippie, but no, trees are natural grounders.
Yeah, our friend Marianne,
Yes,
my bestie, she goes for a walk every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And always takes a moment to hug a tree. And she's even had people looking at him and she just smiles and continues on.
I had somebody look at me while I was hugging a tree and they looked at me and I'm like, try it.
Yeah.
And they were like, what? And I'm like, try it. So they did. They were like really shy about it, but they came up and they hugged a tree. And when they were done, this is what I heard from the other side of the tree, because it was a huge tree. I heard, oh my God, it feels so much better. Because all of that that's running around in your head, ground it out. Put your hands in dirt.
Yeah.
You get, wash them underwater. Hold a stone. And, Debbie has some beautiful stones out in her shop. And, any stone. It could be just simply, we had an elder who is a geologist in our community. And he called them Oregon rocks. Oh, it's an Oregon rock. And finally, one day, somebody looked at him and went,
what's an Oregon?
What is an Oregon rock? And he goes, it's just another fucking stone. So it could be, it holds your intent. Doesn't matter if it's hematite, blue lace agate, carnelian, kyanite, vivianite. It doesn't matter. That thing will hold what you ask it to hold because it's a part of the earth. So you could even ground that way.
And another good stone for right now is the Que Sera.
There you go. What shall be, shall be.
That's it. And
exactly.
You just put your intentions in there and leave it alone.
Right? And let it go.
And let it go.
Let it go.
Yes, yes. People don't use their tools, I don't feel like.
Well, we forget about them.
Creatively.
True. But we also, like me personally, I don't know about other listeners, but me personally, I forget sometimes I even have the damn things. Until somebody goes, well, did you do that? I remember one time my best friend, hey, she said to me, well, didn't you do this? And I looked at her and went, no, because that would be smart. And I went and did it and I immediately felt better.
And that's what we were talking about. Use the rune or the number or the name of the card or whatever on your glass of water or your bottle of water so that you see it.
Right.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Well, and with me, with ADD, the more out of sight it is, the worse I forget that it's there.
Right.
I mean, it's like being ADD and trying to know what's in the fridge. I don't know. It's behind a door. I have to open the door to look at it.
Right.
And so I forget it's there. It's like my moon waters. I forget I have them because they're in a closet with the door shut with my supplies in front of them.
I kind of feel like that's why we have altars.
Oh, absolutely.
We have stuff on them. Yes, it's beautiful. Or yes, it's perfect for the season. But are you working with it?
Right.
Every time you look at it, do you think, oh yeah, that intention that I want? Does that go through your mind, or you just walk by?
Yeah. For me, it's a visual cue to remember that intent.
And most people need that.
But with the planetary alignment and the eclipse, with it being the time to get rid of what's no longer sustainable, maybe you can also, another survival tip would be clean your altar.
Hey, that's an idea.
Because you're resetting your own energy by putting that new light up. I felt like I had redone like a lot.
And that's why, I reset the altar every month.
Right, exactly.
Every single month.
Well,
and you can feel it when you're getting toward the end of the month. Like
I can feel the altar going, are we done?
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
Yeah. And for Yule, it was like, oh my God, let's hurry up. We are so enjoying it. And then after Yule, it's like, oh God, I'm tired. I just
God,
done.
New Year's what? No, I'm not doing anything for New Year's. I'm sleeping.
And so you feel that, I feel like, with every season. So take advantage of it.
Well, and not even every season as far as month, but like we're starting to get cabin fever. This is normal because we're getting close to Ostara, the first day of spring. The weather's getting better. We want to go outside. We're tired of being indoors. We open our windows and doors so that we can get the energy and air. I mean, just thinking about old times when you had to have a fire for heat. I mean, could you imagine how dark it got in there because of all the ash?
Yeah.
And all of the soot and the smoke from the fires.
And they didn't have the windows that we
had
exactly. We're small.
But now's the time that it's a perfect time. Turn the heater off, open up all the windows and doors, and just let it air out.
Yeah.
There's some cultures that once a month for 2 hours, I believe it's German, they turn off their heater and they open all their doors and windows to let the stagnant smells and the stagnant air out of their homes. And then when that 2 hours is up, they close up everything and turn the heater back on. So you wear a coat for a little bit, but at least it smells better. That energy is refreshed because you've moved the air through it.
Right.
So do you have any other survival tips that you can think of?
Probably, but I can't think of them right now.
Mercury in retrograde. Mercury in retrograde.
Well, and I think I've got a few things in my basket. So,
well, yeah, no, I think, well, and right now we're gearing up for the spring. And so because the stores were gearing up for the spring, so are we, because our business starts picking up in the spring because, like I said, more people are willing to come out and say,
yeah.
And so we really need to slow down and not be in such a hurry right now. We need to let things just happen the way they're supposed to and not resist. And that's, for us, that's a big thing because we want to resist it. So let it flow.
Yeah, do that. And then on the other side of the coin, plan.
Yeah. Once you
let that stuff take care of itself, or you help as best you can, but start planning for a new life. And let that flow in, because we're our worst enemies always.
Exactly. So do you have any ideas of what you do for self-care during an eclipse tunnel and a planetary alignment? Share it with us on our page.
Yeah, we'd love to hear it.
We would love to hear it. If you have ideas on what we should talk about, that's a great thing. Help us plan this year. So give us some ideas, you know, but do know that the fog, if it's hitting you particularly hard today, that I personally am leaning heavily on my clarity potion that we make here in Serum Witchery, as well as the stones that I buy from your shop.
Mhm.
You also have stuff out there that helps. You have sage, you have cedar, you have
We have
Palace
sprays too.
sprays too.
Mhm.
And so there are tools that you can use to help clear. If you know a Reiki master, go get a Reiki session.
And remember, these are simply, as Anya said, tools.
Exactly. Bing, bing,
And
bing,
you
bing,
can
bing.
have an entire trove of tools, but until you open the box and actually pick them up and work with them, they're going to stay right in that box.
They're kind of useless.
Yeah, they're going to be stagnant and you're not going to move forward.
And maybe part of using this eclipse is to figure out
Which
tools
you need. Yeah.
or what tools in your toolbox aren't sustainable any longer because they're made with an old judgment that makes you hold on to an idea that no longer fits who you've become.
Right.
So just really quick, Mercury retrograde started today at 1:48 a.m. The planetary parade is on Saturday, February 28th, and you can see it in the sky about 30 to 60 minutes after sunset. And then the blood moon and the lunar eclipse will be happening on Tuesday, March 3rd. So think the night of March the 2nd. From 3:04 a.m. to 4:02 a.m. So those are things that you can do. If you're going to set out water, these would be really good waters to help you remove obstacles from your path, to let go of things that you no longer want.
Help you transition.
Exactly.
And
so,
while you're making that water, put a smile on your face.
Right. Think of something that makes you happy. Listen to a comedian while you're doing it. I find sometimes listening or watching, like for me, I'm older, I guess. I love watching Carol Burnett, Harvey Korman, and Tim Conway. Oh my God, you can't help but laugh. Koala. Koala. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Tim Conway, Koala, YouTube, you'll be wetting yourself. You'll be laughing so hard. Because back then it was live. They couldn't edit out the fact that the actors were losing their shit and laughing loud. You know.
And hey, listen, so's life.
Exactly.
Live.
Exactly.
And if you make a mistake, laugh and move on.
Exactly. So in closing, make sure that you come and visit us at Serum Witchery, which is located inside of the beautiful store of If the Broom Fits, because both of us have stuff that will help you with your Ostara altar. Right. You've got your full moon bundles that are ready to go. And you know, candles. What color do you need? And blue. Some Pisces, you know.
And that's also throat.
Yep. Or you can use black because of the eclipse. It's up to you, whatever feels right for you. Now, know that the Mercury in retrograde ends on March 20th, right before Ostara. Like literally. Wait, let me check my book here. Is that the day of Ostara? Let me check my witch's almanac.
You know, again, I just got through doing it and I cannot remember the date.
It is.
Okay.
It is. It's the 20th. So the day that Mercury comes out of retrograde or goes stationary and then goes back into direct is Ostara.
That's Ostara kicking its butt.
Yeah, it's Ostara kicking, and what a beginning.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have all those new beginnings that we've been preparing for throughout the entire time Mercury was in retrograde.
So think on those when you're preparing. There's so much you can do with your magic. You don't have to do a big ritual. You don't have to go to a gathering. You can do your own thing.
Sometimes you can do a spell by simply mixing your coffee with the spoon in the morning clockwise and thinking about how you want to set your intent for the day. That's a ritual. No candles necessary.
No candles,
but it's a ritual. Okay. So on the 20th, fog's lifting. And until then, keep your hands on the reins of the fire horse. Remember to be gentle with your magic.
And yourself.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I say your magic, I kind of think of yourself, but that's a good point to say it out
'Cause
loud.
some people are literal.
Me,
Hello.
I'm literal. I'm very literal. So thank you for joining us today. Again, my
Yes,
name is
thank you.
Anya.
And I'm Debbie.
And thank you again for joining us with Witch Whispers. Have a great, great month. We'll talk to you next month.
Bye-bye.